Nihilism is the belief that life, meaning, and values hold no significance. Nihilists think that the world is neither inherently good nor bad, and that purpose and meaning are simply human inventions. This philosophical concept began to play a significant role in 19th century Russian literature. In Fathers and Sons, Ivan Turgenev depicted the nihilistic outlook of the younger generation, giving the term a literary form. Friedrich Nietzsche, on the other hand, explored nihilism philosophically, emphasizing the collapse of traditional values and the necessity for humans to create new ones. In this way, nihilism became a concept embedded not only in philosophy, but also in literature and culture. But how does this movement manifest in the modern era? How do nihilistic thoughts appear in our daily lives, in society, and in our personal relationships? Most importantly, do you exhibit any of these signs? In this video, we will explore these questions. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like and share the video, as this helps us provide you with more thought-provoking and inspiring content, and gives you the chance to share your thoughts and questions with us. How can a person tell if they are a nihilist? Naturally, no one is going to come up to you and say, "You are a nihilist." Nihilism often begins from within, quietly showing itself in your thoughts and the choices you make in daily life. Being a modern nihilist can reveal itself through certain signs, and recognizing them can help you understand yourself better. Nihilists sometimes possess a free-thinking mindset, accept the paradoxes of life, and are not satisfied with simple solutions. This, in turn, makes their perspective on the world different from that of others. So, do you exhibit any of these signs? Let's try to find out. Sometimes, at the end of the day, you sit and think, what is the point of all this? You go to work, complete tasks, meet people, yet there is an emptiness inside, as if everything is just repeating itself and nothing truly matters. This feeling is one of the most typical signs of modern nihilism, the sense that life is meaningless. For example, we can see this more clearly when looking at social media today. People spend a large part of their day staring at their phones, consuming various content, yet in the end, many feel a sense of emptiness, as if everything, the videos you watch, the posts, the likes, is simply a waste of time. In the 19th century, Friedrich Nietzsche and Ivan Turgenev shared similar thoughts. They observed that people were searching for a deeper purpose in life, yet traditional values failed to satisfy this need. In Turgenev's work, the young nihilist Bazarov considers everything to be empty and meaningless, refusing to believe in any social or familial norms. He sees everything as forced and artificial, which leaves him isolated within society. Many people experience such feelings in life, sometimes going to work, fulfilling daily responsibilities, earning money, or meeting the expectations of others can feel empty and meaningless. Everything seems like a repeating cycle, making life feel purposeless. But pay attention. This is just a feeling, and recognizing it is very important. Modern nihilism begins here. You feel this emptiness, but it also reflects your ability to create your own meaning in life. Thinking that life is meaningless can sometimes be frightening, yet it also gives you the opportunity to discover your own purpose, define your own values, and break free from the rules imposed by others. Another sign of modern nihilism is a skeptical approach to moral values. In other words, you may feel that concepts of right and wrong are not fixed or universal, but are merely social constructs created by humans. This feeling can sometimes seem confusing or even frightening. yet it also allows a person to view the world more freely and critically. For example, in daily life, we sometimes encounter situations like this. You see someone make a mistake at work, but others defend them. And you find yourself thinking, what is right? What is wrong? Why is all of this perceived this way? This question is a natural example of a skeptical view of moral values. In the 19th century, Nietzsche argued that traditional values, religious, social, and cultural rules, limited people's lives and did not provide true freedom. According to him, people become so attached to these right-wrong constructs that they lose the ability to tap into their inner strength and create their own meaning in life. In European society during the Middle Ages, religious laws and social rules controlled every aspect of human behavior. People were not even free in their own thoughts. Nihilism, then, is about questioning those restrictions and asking, are right and wrong truly fixed, or are they just made up by us? Another sign of modern nihilism is a sense of purposelessness. This emerges when the activities, hobbies, or projects you once enjoyed no longer excite you, because their true meaning feels empty or meaningless. Imagine you've spent years working hard to get a promotion at your job. You stay late at the office, skip vacations, enroll in extra courses. Finally, you achieve that promotion, a new office, a higher salary. Congratulations from everyone. But a few days later, a strange emptiness arises within you. You had expected this moment to change you, to make you feel more valuable or happier. Yet nothing changes. The same morning, the same desk, the same life. You find yourself thinking, why did I work all these years? If this achievement hasn't changed who I am, what's the point of the next goal? This is a quiet form of modern nihilism. A person achieves success, yet the inner emptiness remains unfilled. Purpose shifts from striving for achievement to no longer knowing why you're striving at all. Another sign of modern nihilism and existential thought is people's indifferent attitude towards social rules and norms. The rules, customs, and unnecessary behavioral standards around us can sometimes seem absurd, as they do not provide deep meaning to life or offer any real value. This is one of the issues emphasized by existentialist philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Albert Camus. They argued that people must create meaning through their own choices and actions. Otherwise, social norms remain mere external obligations, empty forms without substance. In his famous work, The Myth of Sisyphus, Albert Camus notes that life is fundamentally absurd. The human need for meaning clashes with the universe's indifference. This sense of absurdity also makes social rules and norms appear meaningless. Once a person accepts this absurdity, they no longer feel burdened by external obligations or social rules, and instead focus on creating their own meaning. Another sign of modern nihilism is an internal sense of emptiness and loneliness. As a person realizes the randomness of existence, the absence of a fixed purpose in life, and the transient nature of everything, this feeling begins to quietly grow. It is not merely an emotional slump. It is a confrontation with profound and unsettling questions about both oneself and the meaning of the world. Sometimes, this emptiness emerges in the most ordinary moments of daily life. For example, you may spend years engaged in a hobby you once loved, yet no longer feel the same excitement. Work, creative pursuits, and social activities seem to have lost the joy they once brought you. It's as if everything continues around you, but nothing moves within you. This is not merely disappointment. It is the quietest manifestation of the existential void experienced by the modern human. Modern nihilism is a philosophical stance that arises from a person's critical approach to the world, social rules, and traditional values. This perspective highlights that nothing has a fixed or unchanging meaning, fostering intellectual freedom and potentially making a person more independent and realistic. However, it also carries risks. The collapse of meaning can bring a person closer to feelings of inner emptiness and loneliness. For example, in early 20th century Europe, many artists and writers engaged in free creative work. Yet despite all this freedom, they experienced crises regarding the deeper meaning of life. This illustrates that nihilism can lead in two directions, liberating on one hand, but emotionally isolating on the other. Although Friedrich Nietzsche himself was not a nihilist, he was one of the philosophers who analyzed this balance most clearly. He distinguished between two forms of nihilism: passive nihilism, which leaves a person confronted with despair, exhaustion, and a sense of worthlessness, and active nihilism, which treats the collapse of old values as an opportunity, allowing a person to create their own meaning and value system. Later, Albert Camus continued this discussion with his concepts of the absurd and rebellion. If life has no objective meaning, a person must still choose to live, build meaning through their own will and actions, and remain committed to it. So, if you recognize any of the traits of nihilism discussed in this video within yourself, there's no need to worry. As Nietzsche emphasized, the key is balance. When faced with the emptiness and sense of meaninglessness brought by modern nihilism, a person has the opportunity to create their own inner values, goals, and personal meaning. Even if life has no objective meaning, this individual approach can bring a sense of freedom.